I am obsessed with my soup in my super cubes. These little babies are one of the best ways to start cooking for one. Look, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't live alone. I have a 22-year-old and the better half in this house, and we all like to eat different things. So I've actually adopted the attitude of cooking for one so I can stay mostly with some healthy choices that are satisfying and delicious, and I don't waste food because you know how expensive food is right now. It's ridiculous. So today you're with me while I heat up my super cube of roasted sage, apple, onion, garlic, and broth, all pureed into a little soup and finished off with rosemary. If you caught my rhubarb rosemary drinking vinegar recipe, you'll know that I absolutely love the flavor of rosemary. I grow it in the garden. I love to put it in infused water recipes, but I also have a really great product to share, which is in the form of a flavored olive oil. You could obviously use the herb too. Let's get to it. Now, of course, you need to peel your squash, but there is really no reason why you can't pick up pre-cut squash at the grocery store to make your life easier. Whatever you choose, don't fuss. Just chop your squash up roughly so you get to have about 8 cups. I didn't want to bore you with footage of putting veggies on a sheet pan, but they're ready to go to be roasted in the oven, and I'm going to drizzle them with this rosemary infused olive oil from the Olive Oil Co. They're here in Ontario. I will link them below because they have some awesome recipes for inspiration here on YouTube. So you've drizzled your veggies with olive oil, hopefully on a parchment-lined baking sheet. The recipe, of course, is below so that you can get all the instructions in order. You want to roast them till they're soft, until they're caramelized. Let it cool just a little bit. You want the parchment cool enough to touch so that you can take all of these delicious caramelized veggies and pop them in your blender. If you have one, you could also put it in like a bowl and use one of those hand blenders. So you're going to pop it in the blender. Make sure you get all that caramelized goodness from the veggies into your blender. And then you want to add some stock. Add some chicken stock, veggie stock, whatever you like. Of course, veggie's going to make it vegan. And add enough so that you get a nice puree. Here I'm adding 8 cups. So it's about 8 cups of stock to 8 cups of roasted veg. You can do more, you could do less. It really depends on the type of texture and I guess the viscosity of the soup that you like. If you've seen my split pea soup recipe, you will know that I am such a fan of these super cubes. Oh my gosh, I said I wish I did invent them. These are amazing and they are the best thing. If you want to cook for one, whether you live alone or you have a family, it doesn't matter. This way you can get intentional nutrition, flexible nutrition, the kind of stuff that you want to eat by freezing these in portions. And you can pull out 1, 2, or 3, depending on how hungry you are or who you have to feed. I like to finish this off with that rosemary infused olive oil from the Olive Oil Company, and I'll pop it in the freezer like this. This way I've got a nice little burst of flavor, a really satisfying lunch for myself when I'm working from home, and I don't have to fuss. It's all ready for me. So I've actually just put this in a meal planning app so I can let you know the vitamins, the minerals, and maybe even the fiber in a serving of this soup. I definitely am going to have a fiber video in the Back to Basics series. I hate talking about calories, so I don't even want to give this airtime. Apparently there's 1.3 grams of protein in this soup with a total fat of 3.5 grams. Your carbohydrates are 21.25 grams. Why do we care? Some people do have to think about their carbohydrate level when it comes to managing certain health conditions, but I am not afraid of any carbohydrate. I have made enough peace with food and I have found my own version of food freedom where I don't get worried about carbs. And yes, sometimes the carb is bread. You will also see that there is 3.5 grams of fiber because squash has a lot of fiber. And the more you add water or stock to it, the less fiber fiber you're going to have, but you will have more hydration. And if you want to make it super thick, you're going to have more fiber. I don't get too stressed about the total sugars on here either here at the side. Those are naturally occurring when it comes to the foods themselves. And there is some calcium in here, some iron, 1 milligram, and some phosphorus, some magnesium, some sodium, some zinc, some copper, all of these little micronutrients that can actually come from a vegetable. All right, let's plate this baby up and start warming up from this crazy day outside. I hope this inspires you to start cooking for yourself, putting yourself first, and I'll see you in the next video.